Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
UConn Huskies absolutely crushed the UCLA Bruins in the Final Four, 85-51, biggest blowout, I believe, in Final Four history. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Appreciate all the support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Deep breath. Here we go. A couple of things I wanted to, the reason this kind of stuck with me and a couple of things I wanted to point out with this is, again, while we're seeing progress, and this is not instantaneous stuff, okay? The women's game is growing, and I'm not just talking about the fans, you're talking about more talented players. However, still, compared to the men's game, relatively few really talented players, all still basically congregating on the same few teams, which is why it's always been UConn for a long time. And then Dawn Staley took her name to South Carolina, and other stars going there. And it was just UConn and South Carolina, UConn and South Carolina. And here we go this year, UConn and South Carolina. And the fact that this has always been happening, and again, what is that now? The only loss for the South Carolina Gamecocks in the last 4 NCAA tournaments came at the hands of Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes. And if memory serves me, I believe that was the year that South Carolina was undefeated, right, going into that Final Four game as the defending champs. And Caitlin Clark and Iowa told them to go pack their luggage, check out of the hotel, and scoot on home. But without Caitlin Clark, and which is the other point I want to make, is these players that everyone keeps, or I shouldn't say everyone, the sports media keeps trying to quickly replace Caitlin Clark with, whether it was Juju or Paige, on and on. And they want to give me that crap about it's all about winning and Brianna Stewart, how amazing. I'm sorry. When you're the maybe best player, but not very good on a team that's beating people 100 and, 12 to 27, that doesn't make you a winner. I'm sorry. It doesn't make you a winner. And it certainly doesn't make you the greatest individual player of all time. When you get crap like this, there's not one single player in college right now, and none of these greats you're talking about. Diana Taurasi could not have taken Iowa to back-to-back title games. Brianna Stewart could not have taken Iowa to back-to-back title games. Paige Bueckers would not have taken Iowa back-to-back to back-to-back title games. Juju Watkins certainly wouldn't have done it either. Angel Reese wouldn't have done it either. None of them would have gotten Iowa to the damn second round of the tournament, yet back-to-back titles where they beat an undefeated South Carolina defending champion in the Final Four, and then the next year they beat defending champion LSU in the Final Eight to get back to and eventually get back to another final. None of them can do it. They do not compare. They have never compared, and it is just a sad, pathetic narrative by a sports media that is insanely jealous about what Caitlin Clark has done for women's basketball because she is not the right player for it. Whew, that felt good. And one thing I wanted to point out, just like that LSU final that I talked about the other day with the points, you can't get this with Iowa. See, here's the thing. Paige Bueckers was 7 to 17, 0 for 3 from 3 with an air ball from Logo. Don't shoot that again, Paige. 16 points. Okay? So how is this an 85? And that is in a Final Four in which your team won by 34 points. Why? Because you have Azzi Fudd, 7 to 12, 3 of 5 from 3, 19 points. You have Sarah Strong, 9 to 13, 4 of 6 from 3, 8 rebounds, 22 points. Paige Bueckers, you put that stat line of Paige with Caitlin Clark and her team, and they don't win, let alone win by 34 in a Final Four game. Caitlin Clark could not have these types of games that players like Paige Bueckers or Angel Reese, when she decided to transfer to a loaded LSU team to get a ring, they could have those games and still win because of all the teammates that were surrounding them. Caitlin Clark could never do that. Caitlin Clark could never do that in most any games, let alone a Final Four against a number one seed that went 34-3 in the regular season, with two of those losses coming to USC and Juju Watkins, who they then beat in the Big Ten championship. So please, let's stop the comparisons to Caitlin Clark with players like Paige Bueckers and players like Juju Watkins, because it is not comparable. And it was not comparable with Breanna Stewart either. Sorry, hate to break it to you, not even close. I'm not going to drag this one out. I'm going to leave it right there. I just had to make a point with that. And this is all. Oh, I'm sorry. I did have one other thing. Caitlin Clark, you've heard me say this a million times, so I won't go through everything, but she was a game changer because of how she played. Very different than we've ever seen in the women's game. Exciting, entertaining style. Now, because of Caitlin Clark, people are watching women's college basketball, but you're expecting something different. Caitlin Clark's a unicorn. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take the young girls who watch Caitlin Clark, just like the boys who maybe watch Michael or LeBron or Steph Curry. They watch Caitlin Clark. Now 7, 8, 9, they start playing and they're emulating Caitlin Clark. They want to play like Caitlin Clark. They base their style off of Caitlin Clark. When those young girls grow up and then they enter college, and then the cream of the crop of their generation become the WNBA players, that's when you're going to see widespread change in terms of the elevation of the play and the entertainment value of the play in the women's game. It's not all of a sudden good everywhere else simply because Caitlin Clark exists. The college game is now not on another level because Caitlin Clark came and went. And it certainly does not have the depth of talent because we keep getting stuff like this and it's boring and people don't want to watch it. It's not compelling, it's not entertaining. 80 Look, I know even with two good teams, blowouts happen from time to time, but this is continual in women's basketball. Year in, year out. I saw something the other day about, bumping up Paige. She's been to 4 Final Fours. Well, there wasn't a Final Four in 2020. And so I think, not including that, right, 14 of the last 15 Final Fours have had a UConn team. So it's not special to Paige. If you want to go to a Final Four, just go to UConn like all the players do, and they get together, safety and talented numbers, so they can win. And then everyone says, "Oh, well, it's all about winning." So they're the best. They're the best players individually because the team won, because they're basically an all-star team. See how that works? It's a scam. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, appreciate your support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you later.